What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. Super pumped. We've got a very cool guest today. She's part of my Boss Babe tribe. You know I love my Boss Babes. She was a she went from simplicity and organization to a business coach. She is also a Streamlined and Money Breakthrough Business Coach program. Right. Mm-hmm. And a fun fact, she received her CPO's designation in 2007, becoming one of the first certified professional organizers in the world. Very cool. Please welcome Miriam Ortiz Y Pino. Miriam, thank you for joining us today. Hashtag Boss Babe all the way. I'm so excited to have this conversation.
Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to it. It's always fun to chat with fellow boss women.
I know, right? We have something special together, and we can kind of feel that energy through the screen. I love what you do. I think that organization is key to success. And I know not all people feel the same way, but it's necessary when you got a lot going on in life. So I'm wanting to understand what simplicity and organization to business coach. What did that look like for you?
Yeah. So when I became unemployable, I wanted to start my own business and looked into being an organizer because all the testing I did said, you're good at that. Yeah. So I thought, let me see if I'm good at that. And I got fascinated with systems. I've been fascinated with systems my whole life. So wherever I can make something easier, every job I ever had was about taking things that existed and making them better, easier, simpler, faster, because really I'm really lazy. So I'm all about maximizing my free time. Like, why work so hard? We can make it easier. So I started with that approach. And also I was practicing voluntary simplicity at the same time, which before it was the minimalism movement. Okay. It was voluntary simplicity and living with consumer consciousness and just being aware of the decision-making piece. Yeah. So all of those things came together into my organizing business. And I found most of my clients, or the ones that I like to work with the most, were entrepreneurs or work from home consultants and coaches themselves. Wow. And so that kind of got me interested in those entrepreneurial systems and how that all fits together. And I just kept going. And I became a certified professional organizer and then the Money Breakthrough Business Coach at the same time, because it all kind of brings things together in terms of how things work to make your work and life easier. There's no balance. We got to have like focus areas of our life, right? And how can you make the focus fuel each other? So when you're at home, how can that be more supportive of your business? And when you're working on your business, how can that be more supportive of your life?
Sure. And so you've been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah, 23 years.
Oh, wow. So actually, I just want to go back really quick. What does it mean to be voluntary simplicity?
Simplicity? Yeah. So I practice it. I choose not to get caught up in buying things just for the sake of buying things or for status. It's part of what I do, but every decision I make about what to purchase is designed to help me get one of my desired outcomes or facilitate my life or my livelihood. Yeah. So, I live in a small house. I have exquisite things, but only some things. I don't just go buy willy-nilly. Everything's considered beforehand. So it fits my life.
Well, I'm behind you. It looks very organized. So
thank you.
You can see it. So
may or may not be kind of floofed up for the interwebs, but yeah.
No, I like it. No, I like organization. Not everything's organized all the time, but when I am able to take the time to make sure I get everything into place, it's definitely organized for me. But we all live such a fast-paced life. Sometimes it's hard to maintain that 100% time. But I am an organized person, so I like it. I'm like, you're feeling organized. OCD right now.
Well, you're Virgo too, right? Yeah. I am fellow Virgo. There's be as organized as you need to be to live your life. And that looks different for everybody. So that's the other thing. I think there's a lot of kind of influence right now to look have it look or be a certain way.
Sure.
And if that's not the way your brain thinks or you like to work, that's not the right way to be organized for you. You need to figure out the right way to be organized for you and the way your brain processes information.
So over your 23 years, I'm sure you've seen a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess one of my questions, I would love to hear, like, what is one of the worst projects you walked into?
I have worked with a couple hoarders before.
Cool.
It's not my go-to. Most hoarders tend to think they don't have a problem, because it's a processing issue, neurological / psychological issue. And so it can be a little on the horrific side, but mostly because they don't want the help. Right. So it's super frustrating for the organizer to help them because there's not progress. And I like to actually see things finished. But I would say the single most surprising thing when I went into other people's houses is how few people even knew that they could be organized. They think either they are or they aren't. That it's some sort of innate skill, that it's not a learnable skill, or that it's not important enough to learn. Like how many people think of it as an afterthought instead of first thought? Yeah. I think of it as the foundation that allows you to do all the things you want to do versus the thing you only do when you have time from the other stuff you do. Because you're wasting a bunch of time not actually doing when all you're doing is looking for stuff or rearranging things. There's a different kind of mindset of how you approach it. That was the most surprising thing to me.
So there's something that I think you've heard and that I've heard that we've seen on TV that typically when somebody is very unorganized, they're very smart, right? Do you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. That one saying that I forget what it is verbatim, but it's like, I personally disagree. But have you run into clients that have been extremely disorganized, but incredibly intellectual and smart, where they just cannot keep their organization skills in check?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It goes both ways. I also know really kind of stupid organized people.
All right, we're not naming any names here. Okay.
No, naming no names. But I think it depends, because OCD and hoarding are all on the same anxiety scale of the psychological spectrum.
Oh, interesting.
That it looks very similar on both ends of it. Okay. It's all about control. So there can be control freaks that can't open their mind to anything. And then there are people that have so many ideas, they can't get it together to get anything done. So it's more about executive function than it is about intelligence and how you learn to use your brain to get the results you would like to get, than the actual intellectual thing. If you can learn to drive a car, you can learn to be organized.
Sure.
So yes, it's just a series of steps.
Yeah. Now, when you are working with a client, do you try to help teach them how to be organized in that process?
Yes, I teach organizing skills.
Oh, okay.
I also create the systems that will be easiest for them. So instead of them spinning out and trying a bunch of different things that don't work and getting frustrating and giving up, I show them their best likely path to success in the way I help them organize, and then teach them how to maintain it and or adapt it over years. So I just heard from a client I worked with almost 20 years ago that is still using the filing system I set up for her.
That's amazing.
And it's like, yay, it still works, because I've been using the same one for 30 years. Once you set something up correctly, it should last a lifetime.
That's a testament to what you've taught them in your services to your clients. What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. Can we get a round of applause today? Woo! Today I'm excited to announce Manscaped launched their Ultra Premium Collection. Believe it or not, it's for your not so private parts. I'm talking about a leveled up hygiene routine with your favorite manly scent. And let me tell you something. Oh, it smells so good. My man wears this every day. This is an all-in-one skin and hair care kit for the everyday man and covers you from head to toe Manscaped is trusted below the waist. Now trust them with the rest. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com and use the code LABELFREE20 for 20% off and free shipping and enjoy. So what's a common area, I guess, that most people struggle with keeping organized?
Paper.
Okay.
And even in this digital age, by paper, I mean information. So it could be email or physical mail, or the papers that come home with your kids, or the stuff you picked up at that last conference you went to for your work, all the paper, all the information that comes at us every day. Like, where do I put that? Where do I get that incorporated into my day-to-day, or let it go? Or is it connected to my identity, proving that I know all these things?
Yeah.
And just how to structure that flow of information through our lives.
Interesting. But I'm saying more, so paper, one thing, but like a specific space.
Physically space.
Yeah.
Closets and bathrooms.
Okay. Yeah.
And or kitchens.
Yeah.
It's those foundational things. And if you have those 3 areas of your life, plus your laundry room, because it's so closely connected to your closet, having those basic foundational organizing systems in your house set up so that you know where things go, where they are when you need them, the rotation factor in terms of, how often do you have to replace the toilet paper and how many cans of deodorant do you really need? All those things come into play when you think about it as, okay, what's my kitchen system? What's my laundry system? What's my getting ready in the morning system? It's not just about having a stockpile of stuff that's available. It's like, what's the system for using this stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. I would think like closets, kitchens, because, my kitchen is organized, but I have certain drawers, like my utensils, that are just all in there. And I'm like, there's got to be a better way to organize this. I just haven't taken time to look for that. But like that, there's just one drawer specifically that I'm like, oh my God, this is just a disaster. And it's like, I haven't ever taken the time to do that. What does it look like when a client comes to work with you? And so they say, oh, hey, Miriam, I've got this problem of organization. What is that? So do you go to their homes? How does that work?
Yeah. I actually walk my clients through a program. So it's set up to determine what they want to have happen instead. Okay. We do a couple of assessments about their the way their brain processes information, and I do sacred money archetypes. So it's like any personality typing tool. It gives me insight and shortcuts for communication while I work with the people. So it gives me a way to think about how the system is best going to be set up for them. Yeah. And then we actually go through my process of making decisions and setting up spaces and chunking down the project into small, manageable pieces so everybody doesn't get overwhelmed.
So you empower your clients then? Oh,
yeah. Because the 2 hardest things are they don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to complete.
Yeah.
And so if I can show them that it's not an all or nothing, it's like we do this part and then we do this part and then we do this part and then we add in this and then we add in this, and it's a layer and it's a rotating system and it's constant and ongoing for the rest of your life.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Easier. Every piece makes it easier. So
you can do things virtually, or do you do it in person?
Both.
Oh, both. Okay, good.
Yes.
That's great.
I do both. I run a couple groups for people as well to learn together.
Okay.
To be supportive. So sometimes some people learn better that way. Some people work better one-on-one, but I have both.
Yeah. So I'm going to circle back to some of that, but I want to talk to you about the Streamlight Money Breakthrough Business Coach. So talk to us about that.
Yeah, so it's basically a few pillars to help people systematize running their business. It works especially well for solopreneurs or coaches and consultants with small teams, but I've used it for a ton of different businesses. I have one client that's a cook that does farm to table educational cooking. I have a wellness coach. I have other organizers. So it works for a lot of different styles, but basically it helps you set up some marketing and money tracking things and pricing strategies that help you deliver your service in a consistent way so that you can market it and talk about it and price it properly.
So you organize their business.
Yeah.
Right? I love that from a financial perspective. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What made you come up with that?
It's not my system. I'm just certified.
Oh.
It's Kendall Summerhawk system. I've been using it on myself since about 2008, and I've been certified in it for about the last 4 years.
Oh, very cool. Okay. Where can people find you, connect with you, and learn more?
Yeah, all the places are attached to my website, morethanorganized.net, or my YouTube channel, which is More Than Organized Run Together. No spaces.
Excellent. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna put all those links in the show notes. So if you're interested in working with Miriam, learning more, whether it's in your business or in your personal life, in your home, don't hesitate or forget to reach out. Whatever looks good for you. She's obviously very lovely and sounds like she's easy to work with. So I think that you would benefit either way. So let's go back to some of your projects. What would be one of your funnest or most memorable organizing projects that you've done?
Oh, there have been a lot. I've worked for a couple writers that are fun because they tend to be very, idea oriented and creative, and it can be a little intense during writing, and stuff gets away from them. And having one just downsize a move, and I helped her set up all the home stuff so she could focus on the writing, and we eliminated easily 90% of the papers in her office. And once we did that, she realized that the stuff she was working on was quite a bit more manageable. It was just all the other stuff that was in her way that made her feel so overwhelmed. And so she was just baffled that it was that easy and that it had been taking up that much space at the same time. So that one was really delightful because I love helping people complete projects. And if their passion isn't their personal filing system, it's the writing, I want to enable that whenever I can.
For sure.
So that one's good. There have been, just hearing stories about, people that we've put a system in place many years ago and it's still working for them is fantastic.
Yeah.
But also just hearing business stuff. Even some of my not so successful things. I just had a client who was a little resistant with some of the paper sorting stuff. She really had a hard time letting go of paper. And so it was structured and there was a little bit of tension when we worked together. We got some things set up and I thought she wasn't that excited about it.
Yeah. And
then she moved across country to do something else. And she calls me, and it's been 4 or 5 years since I worked with her. She calls me back and she says, I just want you to know, I still need some help with this, but this part of my life is much better. And it was so easy to move because we did this and that. And it was that is so gratifying because every little bit of organizing saves you time and money in the long run. And it's kind of incremental progress for exponential results. Yeah. And so just hearing that even when you think you don't have a huge impact, it does impact in so many ways. Every little piece.
That's awesome. What would be a quick organizing tip that you would give anyone that's listening?
Oh, there's so many, but I would say put your toys away when you're done with your project.
Yes. If you're a clothes horse like me, make sure you put the clothes back in the closet when you're done trying everything on.
The laundry isn't done till the clothes are put away, not just dumped on the couch so you can fold them later.
Oh, I could never do that. That's something I cannot do. No. Once it's clean, I got to fold it and put it away. But when I'm getting ready for a night out, my bedroom will look like a total disaster because I'll have all these clothes out trying to find the perfect outfit. And then I get a little lazy putting it all back. So I have to remind myself to put it back. So. Yeah.
The other thing that helps is not having so many options in the first place, so your decision making is faster.
I love my clothes now. See, I don't know. I
know.
Maybe later in life I might start slimming that down, but I still love all my clothes. Well, we're getting close here on time, so I like to ask for last words of wisdom and advice, Miriam. So, what do you want to leave with the audience today?
life doesn't have to be so hard. You can make it really easy if you want to, and everything can work together to get you to where you would like to be, who you want to be, and how you would like to be.
Yes, I love that. Like it's like having a well-oiled machine within your home. So,
Yes.
or your life, your business life, whatever that might look like for you. So that's some good words of wisdom. And Athena's wanting to steal the show. Well, Miriam, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your story with us and everything that you do. I love it. I think that it's awesome. And congratulations to you and all your success and all your future success to come.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
You're welcome. You guys, this is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, rate, review, all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.